I'm finally trying to decide what to do with my 401a, 457 deferred compensation plan, and 403b. I made a video quite a while back about what you could do with your 401k after you retire. You have several options. You can just keep your money in those accounts if you like the plan's investment options, as long as you have $5,000 or more in those accounts. If the plan has cost-effective investment options, there may be no reason to move it. You can look up the fees you're paying. So I decided to look up the fees I'm paying for these three accounts and the performance they've had over the last year. I had to do some searching to find those fees. They definitely don't broadcast it. So with my 403b account, the fees are a flat $80 a year. With my current balance, that ends up being about 0.1%, just so I can compare it. The performance from June 2024 to June 2025 was 8.8%. Here's what the graph looks like. It's invested in a Target Retirement 2025 fund. With my 401a account, the fees are 0.6% per year. The performance from June 2024 to June 2025 was 9.22%. This is what the graph looks like. It's invested in a total allocation portfolio. With my 457 deferred compensation plan, the fees are 0.1% per year. The performance from June 2024 to June 2025 was 9.61%, and I couldn't find a graph for this one. It's also invested in a Target Retirement 2025 fund. IRA fees are typically well below 1%. With the one traditional IRA I have, the performance from June 2024 to June 2025 was 8.3%. All the fees were 0.35%. My Roth IRA charges $25 a year. With the amount I have in there, that ends up being about 0.08%. And again, this is just so I can compare it. The performance from June 2024 to June 2025 was 12.7%. But this account is 100% stocks, and from the time I opened it in 2018, the performance is only 1%. Here's a graph for that. It varies all over the place. This account is high risk, but that's why it's in bucket number 3. And it's not a huge amount of money. It's only like 6% of my total portfolio. And these are mutual funds, not individual stocks. So it looks like my 403b and my 457 deferred compensation plan have the lowest fees and have pretty good returns, so I don't really see a reason to roll those over. My 401a has the highest fees, but it also has pretty good returns. I've noticed that when my other accounts go down, my 401a goes up, and when my 401a goes up, my other accounts go down, which is kind of interesting. But I feel like it balances things out. I did read, though, that it takes way longer than normal to get your money out of one of these total allocation portfolios. It takes like 2 months, whereas a normal retirement account takes 2 to 3 business days. So I'm trying to decide if I should roll anything over. Originally, I was thinking I would roll all 3 of these accounts to IRAs. But now I'm not sure. I may just leave them where they are for the time being, or I may roll just my 401a over to an IRA. If you have your investments managed by a financial advisor, you'll pay a fee for that. That's how they make their living. This can range from 0.8% to 1.2% for human advisors. And it'll range from 0.2% to 0.45% for robo-advisors. I read an article by NerdWallet that I'll link below that lists several different companies that have IRAs with no fees. Robinhood is offering a 1% match on any rollovers all the way through this year. That is tempting, but the funds that earn a match have to be kept in that account for at least 5 years, so you don't get an early removal fee. So I don't know about that. And when I think of Robinhood, I think of that Netflix movie Dumb Money. That was a really interesting movie based on a true story if you haven't seen it. Robinhood faced significant legal trouble related to the GameStop short squeeze in January 2021. I know very little about this, but their reputation was damaged, and I have to admit, that's what I think of when I hear Robinhood. I'm sure they're great, but that's just what I think of now. I also saw Charles Schwab and Fidelity on NerdWallet's picks. It looks like they have some IRA options with no fees, and a lot of people like them. I have no personal experience with either of them myself. I'd love to hear what you think. Do you have a company you really like with low fees? Let us know in the comments. Financial advisors can be great. I originally planned on using a financial advisor. The first advisor I ever saw for an initial meeting charged over 1%. I think it was something close to 1.3%. I had coworkers that use him, and he came highly recommended, and he was great. But I did the math, and to me it was just too much money. I decided I'd rather spend the time learning how to do it myself, at least for now. But if you're not comfortable managing your portfolio, or you don't have the time or the interest, a financial advisor might work really well. And by age 85, you're probably not thinking as clearly as you are at age 55, so at some point a financial advisor really could add value. I have a video about this that I'll link below in case you're interested. J.L. Collins, the author of Simple Path to Wealth, suggests that you avoid financial advisors. He says it's your money and no one will care for it better than you. He claims buying stocks in the market index reliably and consistently outperforms having professional management when you include the fees. He says to consider the idea that if you're using the 4% rule and you pay an advisor 1%, that's 25% of your income. I'm looking at pulling around 2.6% to start, so 1 to 1.3% would be like half of that. At this time, I just don't want to pay someone half of my income to manage my money for me. There's definitely nothing wrong with using a financial advisor though. Please don't think I'm suggesting that you don't. This is just what I'm doing for now, and I'm not a financial advisor. So I don't know, what would you do if you were me? Would you roll over the 401a to an IRA? What companies do you like? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, I'll make my own decisions. But I love hearing ideas from other people, and I learn so much from my viewers. Maybe there's something I haven't thought of. I'm also considering pulling some money out of one of these accounts and putting it in my Roth at the end of the year. I can do this because I have earned income from YouTube. If I did this, it would maybe be like $5,000, and I wouldn't put it in 100% stocks like I have in there now. I would probably choose something lower risk to balance that Roth out. I'm waiting till the very end of the year though to see what my modified adjusted gross income is before I do this. Anyway, thanks for listening, and thanks for any advice you want to share. It not only helps me, but lots of people read the comments and get ideas. Did you roll any employer-sponsored accounts over to IRAs after you retired? If so, how did you choose where to roll them? If you want to share, feel free to leave a comment. If you're seeing me for the first time, hi, I'm Julie and this channel's Happy on Monday. Thanks for joining me. If you found this helpful, please like. And if you're interested in early retirement, consider subscribing. I'm going to leave you with a quote. Progress has little to do with speed, but much to do with direction. Hope to see you again soon.